Hey there, guys. Welcome back. Mason at Cardinal Gaming here, with already kind of a more complex video that I am used to making. Um, but I want to do a jump right into it and show you guys around what I, as a retailer, have in the back end of TCGPlayer, and when I go to list cards, what kind of data I have that you, a buyer, do not have. So this is kind of I got a weird setup going on that I'm not used to, so bear with me here. I'm going to try to go through and see what we got going on. But so as you see on the screen, I'm looking at a Shining Charizard. Um, Looks like a Shining Charizard moderately played is going to set you back about $600. Of course, you know if you hit that view prices, you're going to see all the prices of anything that's listed right now. So we're looking at all these. So you see prices bouncing around. It looks like LP1 is the best one we got, and even is the cheapest price. It looks like $440 there. So that's about what you should be looking to pay for a Shining Charizard. So that kind of gives you an idea what we're looking at on that. And of course, that's all stuff you know about. That's if you are a buyer, if you use TCGPlayer a lot, you know that's what you need to look at when buying and selling when buying on TCGPlayer. I, as a seller, kind of have a little inside scoop with more information that you don't have, and I wish TCGPlayer really did share this kind of stuff because it's very important for you as a buyer to have the thing that I have, which I'll flip over and I'll show you now. This is the seller portal of TCGPlayer. This is the back end that shows exactly when I go to list a card what I'm going to be looking at. So you can see here, it's by condition here, and then it's going to have the lowest listing for each condition. And then this little thing is the last sold listing, which is very important when you get to these cards that don't see a lot of play, don't see a lot of selling. These collectible cards, it's kind of important to keep an eye on that because for things that don't see a lot of action through TCGPlayer, people, if they have the only sold listing or the only listing up that's available, they're going to want to go and say, hey, I'm the only one there, so let me price it as high as I can to see who, maybe somebody that's desperate is going to come up and buy it. That's what makes TCGPlayer really, really good for fast-moving cards that see a lot of buying and selling, and of course that means like stuff from standard. TCGPlayer is always good for pricing on things that see a lot of movement, and it's always going to be a very competitive price because the people that list on TCGPlayer are sellers like me, and there's other sellers out there, but let's not talk about that right now. We're going to talk about just sellers in general that have this ability to look at, say, this sold at $800. I have this one thing. I'm going to double it, which is basically what this person with the near mint just did, and just said, you know what? I sold for $800 last time. Forget it. I'm just going to list it at $1,600 and see who takes it. So for people that are standard players and maybe have new cards that come out and you want to buy them at good prices, TCGPlayer is a great option. TCGPlayer is great. Even as a seller, I like TCGPlayer. There's not a whole lot to complain about. They do support sellers a lot. No matter what you sell on, they're going to take a percentage of it, take some fees out, so you can't really be mad at them for that. That is what it is. You're using their platform, so and you're using their audience to sell stuff. So you got to be okay with that when you go and sell on a platform like this. But for stuff like this Shining Charizard, you really want to double check eBay and make sure things. eBay is still far and away the best place to buy and sell collectible cards, just because, and quite simply, because you have pictures of the cards, and as a buyer and a collector and an investor, you want to be able to see the card that you're getting and make sure that it is of the condition that somebody says it is. Because even if they say, hey, this is, you always see on eBay, you'll see very nice or clean, stuff like that, for these collectible cards, that's not a grade. So when you go to buy and say, hey, I want LP or better on eBay, it's kind of hard because you got to sort through everything. So that's what I was trying to just show you guys real quick, that I have this last sold listing thing that I think everybody should be seeing that. There's no reason for you as a buyer to not know what things last sold at. You can do it on eBay. eBay makes it very transparent what things last sold at, unless it is a best offer and then they don't tell you that, which sucks personally. I think that's really detrimental to setting a price and making sure people aren't getting scammed, because you know there's a lot of things that go out there, hard to find, hard to track down price things, like your PSA graded stuff, even raw stuff that just, again, doesn't see a lot of movement, doesn't see a lot of sales, that will go for a best offer and no one knows what that price was. So the last one listing is awesome. And then I have this other information here. This is just less useful for you. It's kind of, again, not very accurate for slow moving things. It's a market price. It's aggregate of everything that's sold in that condition over a time period. They kind of don't really explain what that time period is, but it's supposed to be movement and adjust as things buy and sell, to give you the market price for a card of that condition. So Shiny Charizard was just an example I picked out of the blue. Again, something that easy to recognize and cool looking card that everybody loves to look at. I actually have a borderline damaged heavy played one in the shop right now, so it's kind of cool just to see what it's doing. But let's see, I picked out a good example of a card that, again, doesn't see a lot of movement, and you got to be careful on TCGPlayer about these H series, which is a subset, and Skyridge. Skyridge is a very collectible set, very hard to find. Like I said, it has that subset of the H series that people are always after, and the art is just beautiful, amazing. One of the best arts out there of any sets is stuff from Skyridge. People love it. It looks cool. It's rare, so people really, it has everything going for it as a collectible set. It's no secret to anybody that Skyridge is one of the better sets to invest in. If you have something in Skyridge, you're going to hold on to it because you don't care how long you have it. It's going to go up in price, and it's always going to be sought after because it's just such a hard set to get cards for. And when you do, you better hold on to them because they're really hard to keep track of. So anyways, again, so we look here at the near mint listing for Crobat. You're looking for a near mint Crobat because you want to get it graded, right? So you don't see this information that the last one that sold was at $46.85. The bad thing also about this, where it's not as helpful for anybody, makes it where I don't know when that was. So this could have been a near mint card, could have never sold on TCGPlayer, and that is the case for a lot of rarer cards. They just, near mints just don't sell because, again, you're going to put that stuff on eBay because people want to see the pictures, and you can kind of command that draw of more value when you have a picture say, yes, this is a truly near mint Crobat H5 from Skyridge. Look at it, make sure it's good, and then this is the price I want. Again, this is somebody that's throwing up this price, throwing up a card and saying, hey, if I get this, I want to get the most I can, and I'm the only one that's up there, so this is what I'm going to throw it up as. This is detrimental for you as a buyer and for me as a seller because, I tell people to go on TCGPlayer all the time to look up card prices, and then they look up this card and they go, oh, shoot, this one's, I got a near mint Crobat H5 and it's $300. That means Mason up here at Cardinal is going to give me, a good chunk of change for this card. Well, that's why eBay is still a good place to cross-reference. And, this is a learning thing that I tell my employees all the time. You got to check and make sure you can't trust that number that's up there. So we're in, I already looked up on eBay, so I had it all ready to go. This is the current listings for stuff. Crobat from Skyridge, it's H5. As you can see, there is one single raw one that is not graded right now, and it's $53, and it is an HP. So and it's for $53.42. Don't know how they got that price, but okay, cool. Okay. And then you can see, there's not any more raw ones. All these are from international sellers. So, we go, well, now what? Again, we got to fall back to what it was sold at last. So, got to do a splice there, guys, because the camera cut off on me. Again, like I was saying with this Crobat, we have to go to sold listings to see what the proper price is, just like we would on TCGPlayer if we had a standard playable card. So again, sorting through these could be a real bear to find something that is accurate to price. Again, you got these best offers where you don't know what the price was, and you got this one for $120. This at least tells me that somebody out there paid $120 for this card. So, when you try to think of a price to come up with, this is going to be more of where I want to be at. This is August 27th. This is October 7th today that I'm recording this. So that is at least close enough, and I'm comfortable with that as a price to go off of. So I'd be, pricing that card more in that range than I would for what TCGPlayer is saying with this $300. So that's just something that you have to be real careful with as a collector on TCGPlayer. Some of those shortfalls that TCGPlayer has, just because we don't have pictures, and because of that reason, a lot of this rarer stuff just doesn't see movement on there. Every once in a while, maybe if you want to take a chance and gamble, you might be able to find a card at a good price on a TCGPlayer that you are looking for, but it's a gamble, so you want to make sure you're really careful with stuff on TCGPlayer. Again, I love TCGPlayer. It's great for standard stuff. Again, they set the market prices. They're the most accurate that I've ever found for standard playable stuff and recent cards, but you really want to be careful when you're doing anything else with non-standard stuff and collectible stuff. So I'm going to leave it at that, guys. I'm going to talk more about TCGPlayer and how prices could be manipulated here in a second. So I will talk to you guys in a little bit.